Bullshit. Electronics.
Yeah, I said it too. I should have just stuck with it. Oh yeah. I think they done figured it out by now, man. 15 minutes of intermission.
Welcome to the Porch Podcast. Welcome to the Porch Podcast. It's your boy, DJ E, Mr. Influential, and I'm here. I'm rocking with my brother P Original, man. Yeah. P think the
Nah,
shit funny.
no, you're not introducing me, bro.
Yeah.
117 weeks, I said my own name, man. P Original, baby. What's up?
Yeah.
Don't let your frustrations
I ain't got no
trickle
frustrations, man. I'm regular,
trickle
man.
over into the introduction, man.
I'm
You all right,
I'm
man?
I'm all right, man. I'm good.
All right, then. All
I
right,
ain't frustrated. I'm living la vida loca.
nah, I ain't do it. All I'm gonna say is I ain't do it.
Yeah.
What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of the Porch Podcast, man. 118, man. Glad y'all can find the time to be with your favorite brothers from the Porch.
Mhm.
So glad, so glad. So
Yeah.
before we get into the episode, man, you know how we do, man. How your week going so far, bro? I can see how
It's
your electronical week going.
it's cool. It's cool. I'm trying to make sure everything is copacetic, man. But it's going good. It's going good, bro. It's happening. It's happening. I ain't got no complaints. You know what I mean? Life is good. Like my post the other night. You know, I was a little late. And I said life is good. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. Yeah, I've been seeing the work.
Right.
I've been seeing you've been, you always had it, that good word in you, brother. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But it's nice to see you sharing it a little bit more often now.
Right.
That's a great thing. Same here,
Right.
man. Early in the week, man. Uh, no complaints. Really wishing that the weather would go ahead. I'm really psyched out. I really want it to be spring, man. I'm just really. I mean, I know it's spring on the calendar, but I want that, that real spring, man. That ice cream
Right.
truck almost type of spring. I'm looking for that kind of situation, man.
Right.
But it's beyond my control. And I can say that we had a pretty mild winter, in my opinion. So I'm really not in a position to complain about anything.
Right.
But yeah, everything's going pretty good. So I want to kind of start things off, man. I want to actually ask you a question. Break the ice on the situation, obviously.
You always ask me a question, but go ahead and ask the question, man. Hey,
I don't know what a couple episodes ago he was talking about flow. Sometimes I think with my brother, he likes to go against the current. It's this thing about the flow. He likes it, then he's like, I want to push against it a little bit sometimes.
flow
So
is flow is going in your own direction. That's what flow is.
that's what I'm saying. That's it. You just exactly said what I thought. Even if the
Yeah,
direction was already moving, you're deciding I want to go to the right now.
you're gonna
All
go
right.
to the right
So
now. Yeah.
so the question I want to pose to you, brother, this week is that how do you know when there is too much on your plate?
Too
I ain't
much
talking
on my
about just
plate.
food. Now you can do that any way you want to, and probably will address both ways. I mean, figuratively, I'm saying just in life, too much on your plate, and actually when you eat, too much on your plate.
Well, it's too much on your plate when you know. First of all, you're supposed to eat and you're supposed to live till you're satisfied. The problem is, just like anything else, when you continuously do it, that's being greedy. You
Right,
know what I mean?
right.
That's like gluttony. You know what's the word gluttony? What's the word for it, man? That they
Gluttony.
say in the
Let's go with that, man.
yeah,
Sounds
you
good.
know,
You know what I'm
that's a
saying?
sin, man. That's a sin. Sometimes I mess up words a lot. I'm always told how I'm messing up words in my household, but guess what?
I understand.
That's just how life
Sometimes I
is.
mess up words a lot. Okay, so all right.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Sometimes I mess up words a lot.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty impressive. All right.
Right.
I asked that question because I think that with today's episode being about brain dump, man. Sometimes I think we need to do a brain dump.
Right.
Um, didn't realize it, right? Didn't realize it until one day I started to get more into reading and all that kind of stuff, and I realized how much I enjoyed it,
Right.
right? And
Right.
what it also did was it allowed me to become so relaxed that I started to think about some of the things that I wanted to
Started
address.
Started
Yeah,
from the bottom. Now we here.
right. Talk that talk. So I started to really think about some of the things that I wanted to address, right? Whether they were things for myself, whether it was things for, you know, my family, whoever it may be. I started to really, really sit back and think about these things.
Right.
And so I came to the realization, ooh, I was going to remix a super remix word.
That's how you
I
do it
came to
sometimes.
you know what I'm saying, to the realization that it's okay and it's absolutely necessary to do a brain dump sometimes. Now, if I asked you, what do you think a brain dump is in your perspective? What do you think a brain dump is, bro?
Um, dumping your brain. Just letting out what's on your mind, letting some shit off your mind. You know, because when you
Hmm.
actually go to the bathroom, you're releasing. You know what I mean? So you're releasing, and we call it. Some people say they're taking a dump. So we releasing whatever stuff is we think holding us back. That's all.
Yeah. And think about this, right? I had to really sit back and consider the fact that every time in my life, and nobody can look back at every moment, but every time in my life where I became overwhelmed, just thinking about the terminology, it's probably a moment where I actually probably needed to do some form of a brain dump. I really needed to actually take the time to actually sit back and realize that what was going on wasn't that it was a stressful situation because I was making it that way.
Turn him up
It was
just a
like that.
little bit, just a little bit, just
It,
a pinch.
it was a little. It was because of the fact. How about now?
Yeah, we good. There we go.
4 weeks in a row. So and
Yeah.
and and so it's funny that that's happened. You know,
I know
as
you
time
barely
goes
touched it. You
on,
just,
then you
but you
start.
also move closer to the mic. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I
Pause.
don't. I didn't. Yeah, I didn't touch it at all.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
the
Uh-huh.
point that I want to make in this situation is that brain dumps are good,
Right.
right? It's a good thing. It helps you to prioritize for things, obviously, but it also helps you get rid of some of the things that you don't need to be holding on to and harboring,
Right.
right? So I had to figure out my own system. My system happens to be still writing it down in the composition book, right? I
Mm-hmm.
write it down, because that way, if it comes out of my mind and it's on paper, I feel relieved. I feel like I've gotten to really what the root of the situation was. Is I just wanted to let it out.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Um, Everybody has different ways of going about doing that. If you had to say that you had a specific way that you think was a release for you, whether you want to call it a brain dump or not, some kind of release, dealing with just the pressures and the weight of the world that's on your shoulders. What do you think that you usually do? Or do you even think about it? Have you even considered the fact sometimes the value of a brain dump?
A lot of times when I seem overwhelmed, it's going. You just said something about me going against the flow and the current, whatever.
Hmm.
But it's not that I'm overwhelmed or if it's too much on my mind. Um, it's just more so of rearranging some things. You know what I mean? Because I'm the person that always want to learn something or always want to add something there. But when I start to see not necessarily results or it's annoying me, I take a
Hmm.
break. I take a break from it. You know what I mean? But sometimes when I take a break from certain things, it's you can be taking a break from one thing and run into another problem with another thing. Meaning, like a lot of times at work, I might feel like, oh, it's a lot going on today. Whole lot
Absolutely. See
going on
what's going
today.
on. See what's up. See,
You know what I
thanks
mean?
for
What's
joining us,
good,
brother.
brother? What's good,
Yeah.
brother? You know what I mean? Um, and I could feel like it's too much going on at the work. I'm gonna take a day off, and then take a day off, and then it's a whole bunch of other ish I'm dealing with. Like, damn, man, like I thought this was gonna be a break day, and
Yeah.
this ain't that. You know?
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I mean, I asked that question because I think sometimes when you understand why you see certain people do certain things, once you understand the value of it. Now, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. There are some moments in life where people are just having rants,
right.
right? Now, rant and a brain dump to me may be a little bit different. To some other people, it may be the same thing. But to me, it's a little bit different. Like if I turned around and said that Kanye West, or Ye, as he's known now, um, if I turned around and said that every time he spoke, it wasn't a rant. Sometimes they were brain dumps.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes he was actually saying things that he really felt there was a lot of pressure on him, where he wanted to help people, and people took them as rants. When in reality, it might have been just him just dumping his brain and getting a relief.
Right.
I think that we've seen it so many different times, and we didn't know what to really call it, and so that we would just look at it from the perspective of, oh man, he's ranting. He's
Right.
going through a situation where it's like that. I actually looked at a list. I didn't write the names down or anything like that, but that they were keeping a list of like celebrities, top 10 celebrities who had, you know, outbursts.
Mm.
Like yeah, yeah,
Like
and
like
I
like Barnaby Jones.
like one or two names. Like I can give you two of the names that I do remember on there. Tom Cruise is one of the names where he had an outburst, and you had some people that walked off the set of one of those Mission Impossible joints. Mel Gibson did the same thing. He had another one, right? Outburst. So we got
Charlie Sheen.
outbursts. Charlie Sheen has had them.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You know, Tom Brady. Whether you want to look at it one way or the other, some people will say, well, he's passionate. You know what I mean? He's out there, he's mad. It's a brain dump. Even when he look at a play and they look at the board, I done seen him slam down clipboards or slam down iPads, when really that's just his way of getting the pressure off of him. Okay, cool. I'm not saying that you should go around slamming stuff and tearing stuff up, but I just think that there's a difference between, once again, when a person is going on a rant and when they're having a brain dump. And I think we all need to find whatever formula that we need to do a brain dump from time to
Right.
time. I think it
Right.
will make things easier.
Like Willie said, just because you ranting doesn't mean it's some negative. You know what I mean? Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. What's up,
exactly.
Will? What's up, brother? You absolutely correct.
What's
And
happening, bruh?
I can honestly say I listen to music. I play music. Um, you know what I mean? I go walk. Sometimes I go take a walk. You know what I mean? Like literally
Absolutely.
take a walk, because
Yeah,
exercise is one of the best things you can do for your body. Periods.
absolutely.
You know what I
Absolutely.
mean? That puts you in
Absolutely.
some type of, it puts you in a whole little euphoria almost. You know what I mean? And in a different zone. And how you sitting there saying, man, that workout was good. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
Some
nah,
people
I
some
agree.
people smoke dope. We don't know. Like that. I'm
Right there,
just
right there.
I'm just
How many minutes
saying.
was it, Joe? How many minutes did he go without it going? Like, but you know what though? I'm not adding to that. But what I am saying is because that could probably cloud your brain, and you might need a dump,
Right.
a little bit different afterwards. I can't think of a time, speaking of myself, where bearing the burden of pressure from everybody else was a good thing.
Right.
I can't think about it. Yet we do it because I think, unconsciously we take on things for a number of different reasons. Sometimes we want to be the hero. Sometimes it's not even about being a hero. Sometimes we just feel like we can save the world. I remember you told me before, you're like, yeah, man, somebody said to you about me, and I mean, you can't save the world all the time. And that's right. And I know that's true. And yeah, you can't. But in the same token, you also have to remember that at the end of the
I
day,
told you that.
you, you told me that. We told that. It was a separate conversation about a whole thing, helping somebody
Might,
out that was in a tight position and
might
everything
have
like
been
that.
bullshitting you a little bit.
No, no. I mean, unless you want to be on the show and admit to people that you lie and shake people up, like that's fine. But
Nah.
no, but it,
Nah, I
but
don't lie and
but
shake people up. I be
yeah,
bullshitting though.
yeah.
Nah,
But
nah.
no,
If I said it, I said it. I mean it, man.
yeah,
I'm just
yeah.
playing
Nah,
with
nah. Absolutely.
you.
But I think that like it's so many different things, right? Like people, in my opinion, sometimes treat their mind like a trash bag, right? Now if you don't get that hefty flex, you know how many of us done put some trash in the trash bag, bruh, and we be like, man, you can push this down a little bit, man. We just got a room in here.
I do it
You can
all the
push this down a
time.
little bit and do it all the time.
I do it all the
Everybody
time.
does. Everybody does. I'm not in everybody's
Well,
house, but I'm
any
assuming that
man who lives in a house with nothing but women, majority of the time, they're doing that like every couple of days, every
because
day.
they're not touching the trash.
Yeah, they're not touching the trash. Nah,
They're not in any capacity, right?
nah.
But I've done it. I'm guilty of it. Like you said, most of the men who live in the house with women have done it. And even some of the women have done it. They may not admit it. They don't want to get their nails dirty, but they've done it.
Mm-hmm.
Even if they use their foot, they've done it.
Yeah.
The problem with that situation, like anything else, if you press down too much on it, what might happen? You might rip the bag, man. And
Mm-hmm.
now you got a bigger problem.
So now, then that's when you take the whole trash can and take it to the main trash can, and just dump it all in there.
Right. Right. And see, that's what happens with our minds, right?
Yeah.
On the fact, when we get to the point where we need to stop accepting trash into our minds, or stop accepting things, what do? We move stuff around and we make a little bit more room. We press things to the side a little bit. And then when it tears, that's when the outburst comes. I mean, literally.
Right. Right. Right.
So the reason why I'm presenting this tonight, to everybody who's checking it out, anybody who's listening, is because if you don't have a formula for a brain dump, I highly suggest you find one. Don't put yourself in a position where you're stretching your mind too far, and the next thing you know, then you may not make the wisest decision on when to release that pressure, and that could be a problem.
You
You
know
know what I
what,
mean?
P? You are
What's that, bro?
definitely, you are definitely a resident therapist. I must say, like, you really are a resident therapist. 'Cause you got people, you dumping brains and all that. You
Oh,
know, yeah, you know what I mean? That's what you do. You dumping brains, and filling it back up. You know what I mean? Hey, man. Hey, hey.
hey, you know what, man?
But
Go
with
ahead, go ahead,
that,
go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
with
Yeah,
that,
yeah. Talk about it.
basically what you're saying is sometimes people have a lot on their plate, a lot on their mind, and you're saying from a positive factor that a person should release those things from their mind. But
Absolutely.
some people don't necessarily release it in a positive way. You know,
Okay.
some
Okay.
people act out. You know,
Yeah,
hey,
we got to speak to that too. You right?
hey, Ja Morant, when he admitted in that interview, he admitted that you know he had some mental shit going on, right? That's what he said, something like that. And like Cam said, he said, I'm not saying that it's really what it's not the truth or that's not what happened. He said, but a lot of people in that generation are running to that for that excuse, you
Right.
know.
Yep.
And I got out of my mind. At the end of the day, we all know what's right from wrong, bro. You know what I mean? And
Mhm.
mental illness is real. And I'm not saying that he has mental illness. I'm not saying that anybody who has a lot on their plate is suffering from mental illness. But I think it's necessary that what you call a brain dump. But I think what's
Mhm.
necessary is if people meditate every day,
Mhm.
you know what I mean? If
Yes.
people and I agree. Well, Ja was capping. You know what I mean? Shit went too far. That's all that happened. He got to say, "Listen, man, I wasn't thinking straight." Like he just
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
just it just went
Yeah.
too
It was
far.
it was cool till it wasn't cool. Right.
Right.
I
That's
understand
what
what
it
you're saying.
is.
Yeah.
But
Absolutely.
what basically I think people need to do on a daily basis, you know, is how you say when you just said when a person when you at the house, you put the trash, um, and it be something there, and you push it down and you add more than, but when you add too much in it, it could rip. Right?
Mhm.
Okay.
Mhm.
Before you retired, you weren't really working in an office setting. You know what I mean? You
Right.
was working more. You wasn't. That's not what you did. Like, and I
Right.
work in an
Right.
office setting, right? And
Right.
sometimes I'm still at work late. And when I'm at work late, what I actually notice,
Mhm.
I could turn around and put 3 paper towels in my trash can by my desk,
Okay.
and it's space for a whole lot of other stuff.
That's right.
But when the cleaning people come in,
Mhm.
they take that trash can and those 3 paper towels and they dump it.
Yep.
So what I'm recommending people is to dump your brain every day.
That- Absolutely, bro.
Meditation, if you deal with meditation to dump your brain, then go ahead. If you
Absolutely.
if you work out, then go ahead.
Absolutely. I
Yeah,
agree.
I
I
wouldn't
agree.
recommend. I would not recommend blow because then you might not be sitting there by yourself.
Well, I think you're gonna mess up your filter then.
Yeah,
Cause see,
yeah,
what you gotta understand is that, like you saying, E, that was a great analogy. You said the housekeeper come by, it's 3 paper towels in there. Now they could easily, bypass that trash can and be like, you know what?
hmm
He got plenty of space in there. That's a waste of a bag. I think we look
right.
at it wrong sometimes. I think when we look at it from the perspective that dumping something what we would think to be premature, it's not us doing it prematurely. Sometimes you gotta realize you could put one diaper
Right.
in a bag that's empty, and it can smell worse than a full trash bag.
True.
Sometimes it's what you put inside of that bag
Exactly.
just as much as how much is in that bag.
Because the three paper towels. I didn't say they changed the bag. They dumped
Right.
the can though.
They dump the
See,
can
you
up. Right.
can't necessarily change your. You can change your mind, but you can't change your brain, like your bag, your actual cranium. If so, my head would have been a lot smaller a long time ago. You know what I mean?
Okay.
You know.
Okay.
Pulse.
Okay. I
Okay.
understand.
Yeah. Okay.
Absolutely.
But
Will, you're right too though, Will. Jokers don't take accountability. That is a problem. Yeah,
right.
nah, you're right. Nah,
Right.
I get it. I get it though, but you're right. You just said that they actually changed
You
the
know what I
liner
mean?
or they changed the bag, that they just
Right.
made sure that the bag was clean. See, and sometimes, like you said, E, that's the beauty of understanding. Like they looked at that bag and they realized, well, the whole bag's not bad.
Right.
It's 3 paper towels in there. But I'm quite sure that this person, it may make your day to come in and see that the trash can is empty.
Yeah.
It may, you know what I'm saying? Like me, I'm a firm believer that everybody can't handle pressure the exact same way. It's just like a soda can or a soda bottle.
Mm-hmm.
You shake it up enough. If you don't know what kind of pressure is built up in that can and you go to try to open it up too fast, we know what happens.
Right.
And in most cases, what winds up happening once something is shook up, even a person, think
What's
about it.
good, Fats? What's good, brother?
You know what I mean? Peace, what's going on, Fats? When you look up and you realize that you've been shook up. I'm talking about a person. The worst thing that you could possibly do right then and there, but well, what's wrong then? That's the equivalent of trying to take the cap off with one twist real quick while the bottle is still shook up.
Yeah.
But if you notice, if most people turn around and be like, you know what I mean? I'm listening. Now I'm listening to what you got to say, fam.
Right.
They'll start to work themselves out. They'll start to calm themselves down, and then the pressure will start to be released.
Mm-hmm.
See, the other thing about a brain dump, and I had to figure this part out too, is that you have to figure that thing, like you said, meditation, working out, going for a run, going for a walk. You know what I mean? In my case, writing it down. I don't care if you get a voice recorder and record yourself saying the things that you need to. A brain dump to me requires, and everybody might look at it a little bit differently. You got some people that are going to be like, yo, I got that one really, really good friend that I can talk to. It's not about not being able to talk to them. What I want to say is that sometimes when you're doing a brain dump, it's not about anybody talking back to you. It's not. It's not about a person having an opinion. It's not about a person trying to say that they relate, they understand. Sometimes it's just about you getting whatever you're dealing with out of your mind, man, and just releasing it.
Release yourself.
And that's the thing where you got people that sit by you, and I just like to look at the ocean. That's why no matter who you are, if you notice, there's always some kind of thing inside of people that makes them gravitate to some form of nature, whether it's the ocean, whether it's the beach, it's a sunset, whether it's you ever notice that
Right,
things that
Dom.
are perfectly quiet.
Right, Dominique. See, Dominique said it's awareness, just like me and you, just like your video last week, self-awareness.
Absolutely,
You know what I mean? Self-awareness is
absolutely.
something, I've said it on this show plenty of times. That's the best thing you can have in life. Because you
Yeah,
know. See, self-awareness goes deeper than just the mind is the most powerful thing, but at the end of the day, you already know if you eat onions and it make you throw up, you're being aware that I don't eat onions. You see what I'm saying? Sometimes it's
absolutely.
just that simple.
Yeah,
It's just that simple. So
nah, it's a
what
good
I
point.
must say to make it instead of saying, well, definitely because we get a lot in our mind and we need to release it. Learn yourself to the point where you don't even let your mind get that heavy.
Right?
You see what I'm saying?
Huh?
See that's what it is. That's where awareness comes in. That's what I'm saying, Will. Self-awareness can save your life. Real talk. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, absolutely.
And if you understand yourself and know what puts you a certain, like sometimes I could be at work or I could be somewhere, and when the back of my neck start getting hot, I'll be like, hold on, I gotta use the bathroom right quick. I just walk off because I know I'm starting to get frustrated. You see what I'm saying? And that's just not at work. That's anywhere. Hold on, give me one.
Right.
No, I gotta take care of something right quick because I don't want to turn around and go a little too far. That's just like
Right.
people. Let's just use this for example. We was all young, and
Mm-hmm.
and I think the earlier you capture and understand how important self awareness is, the better you'll do in life. So you go out, you drink, right? Have a party.
Right.
Oh, listen, Henny on deck. That's what they used to say
Wow.
back in the day. Henny
No doubt.
on deck. Now it's,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Now I see a lot of posters. Got the casa in the got the casa in the casa tonight. Boy, I got the kid.
Whoa.
Right?
Okay. Look at
That's how
that.
they
Being
be.
creative.
Right?
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
I ain't never read that. I just think I just made that up in my head. But my point is, what I'm saying is, the next day when they hung over,
Oh.
you still got some of them out there that doing a little throw up noise and all that. God, I
Yeah.
promise you, God, you gonna lie to God. You get me and you make me feel better. I ain't drinking no
Oh,
more.
that's a whole different type of brain dump then.
That's what I'm
Now,
saying. I ain't drinking no more.
yeah.
Lord, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Listen, look,
Yeah.
cause you got blasted Friday. I'm telling you, God, get me right by 3 p.m. Saturday. Going to
Now,
church. I'm going to church tomorrow. Hold on, I'm going to church tomorrow and everything. It's
yeah. Now, I'm
Saturday,
with you.
Saturday 11/17. Don't stop, pop that. Don't throwing shots back and
So
everything,
E,
man.
how many drinks do you need to be blasted? I'm not asking because I'm insinuating. I'm just saying if you was to guess, just giving me a guesstimation.
That's the thing. I learned self awareness.
There you go.
Because it's certain alcohol I could drink all night and I'll feel good. I won't be hungover the next day. It just I
Right.
learned my body. And it's funny
Right.
because Hennessy is one of them that's like that. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. I got you.
But if I'm drinking with everybody, yo man, who got the Tito's? Like that's how they be now. Who got the Tito's?
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
I
Yeah.
drink Tito's. A couple shots of Tito's. I'm like, hey man, this shit. I'm about to throw up, bitch. This shit nasty, man. That's how I be feeling, man.
Well, it was funny because just now when you was like, I take a couple shots, and then I looked at your face. You had this look on your face like
Yeah,
you was taking the shots now.
that's what I'm
No, I
saying.
understand what you're saying though. Now, and I totally agree. I think that what we got to remember is that just because we can do something don't mean we have to do something.
Right,
You know what I mean?
right,
And I think that's
right,
how the bag actually gets full a lot of times too. Because in our
right,
minds, we're very confident, right? Like in most
right,
things, most people, you ask a person a question, yo, man, you think you can do this? You know, sometimes without a thought, you know what I mean? Yeah, I could do this. And then you be
right.
like, I'll figure it out.
Yeah,
Like a lot of times that's what contributes to the pressure being in the bag too. We got to be comfortable with saying, I can't do that, man.
right.
And hopefully not, and if a person is looking at it from a realistic perspective and they know you and your character, they'll understand that if you say that, then you really can't.
Yeah, that's like with
Got to keep that bag a little. Got to keep that bag a little free, man. You know what I
I
mean?
gotta figure.
Life will get.
I just thought
What's that?
about it. I gotta figure out. Damn, self awareness.
Yeah,
Next week,
yeah,
how we gonna do that? Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I forgot.
Well, we'll figure it out. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I might have to. Maybe I'll be where you at. Oh no, I
Yeah.
won't. Uh, okay. We'll
Yeah.
figure something out. But
Yeah.
anyway, guys,
Yeah.
this is what we're talking about. We're doing a
Right.
brain dump live on the show.
Live on the show. But I want to say this to everybody. I want to say this. Listen,
Yeah.
things gonna happen in life, and sometimes when your brain is full, you forget certain things, or things sneak up on you. So
Hmm.
everything always happens. I don't care what's going on, but what doesn't change unless you're in a leap year is the amount of days in time. You know,
That's right.
you know,
That's right.
January 1st gonna always be January 1st, all the way to December 31st. It's gonna always be the same thing. But time moves up fast, and when that brain gets too heavy on your mind, take some stuff off your mind if you need an event planner. And I got the perfect person for you. Fall back and listen.
Listen, whether it's your first or your 50th birthday, that 25 years of service, if not more, retirement party, or the day that you and the love of your life share vows to become one, let Front and Center Events take care of all of your event planning needs. Sit back, put your feet up, and enjoy the show, where they truly keep you at the front and center of it all. Make sure to check out their Facebook and Instagram pages at FNC Events. Head on over today and get that party booked. Back to the show. Absolutely, Front and Center Events, y'all.
Front and
Make sure
center
y'all check it
events.
out. All your event planning needs. No, I mean, once again, man, I think that we understand it. I think that there's a time that comes in all of our lives where we just be like, I should walk away now because I don't want to explode, for lack of terms.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, the temperature in the back of your neck changes, man. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
it's what happens. You know what I
Shit,
mean? I
it's
think some
hard, and
people probably,
sometimes it's different. On a, when it's really 103 degrees outside, I'd be like, "Bitch, am I
yeah,
hot, or
yeah.
do I
You be
want to
like,
fight?"
what's,
Like I'd be
am I?
confused.
I don't know if I'm upset or is it just what's it? What's your phone say the temperature is? Huh?
Right, right, huh?
Oh,
What you
okay,
saying?
I'm alright because I ain't mad at nothing. I'm in the pool. What am I?
Right.
Something's wrong. Nah,
Mm-hmm.
I get it. I mean, for me, I think that once again, I have, and I can speak about myself in this situation. I have played the role of thinking that I could be the super savior.
Right.
Done it. I've done it. A blind, just whether you want to call it blind belief in yourself or trying to figure things out that really ain't your position to figure it out. Part of the question is that and I'll ask it in its entirety, E, just to get your perspective on it. How long should we entertain an issue that we already know the solution to? Okay, but are choosing not to be direct to protect a person's feelings.
Mm. I think you should address that ASAP.
Okay.
And the reason why I said I think you should, address that
Who?
ASAP is because,
Dip, dip, do, bip, bip, bip. Go ahead, E.
yeah, nah, because because of the simple fact that when you stay, you you ain't supposed to hurt yourself, man.
Right,
And
right,
that's why I
right.
tell people all the time, like it's a reason. Like, okay, let's use this for an example. If a person has an addiction, right,
Okay, okay.
and when they go to seek to get help, a
Mm-hmm.
lot of times, depending on what type of addiction they have, it's some type of structure they have to follow. If you have a drug or alcohol addiction, a lot of times they send you to rehab. If
Absolutely.
you have, anything else, let's say you got a gambling problem, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You
Absolutely.
you might have to see a counselor or something about gambling. And you might have like group meetings every week or whatever. But the
Mm-hmm.
point is if you ever notice, what they're trying to do is they're trying to introduce you to a new environment, because what's
Right.
happening is the environment that you're in
Mm-hmm.
is not good for you. And I said this several times. Some people who just can't get it right, they're not the person who becomes a product of their environment. They are the environment. They're the one that's setting the
Right.
tone in the environment.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So
Absolutely.
I say all that to say this: if I'm around somebody, and every time I'm around that person, whether we at the beach, whether we
At the club.
at the club, anywhere, and I always seem like I'm getting upset, I can't be around that person. It goes back to self awareness.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like,
That's
yo,
what I
he
said.
he or
Yeah.
she cool, but every time I'm around him, I get Paul's rubbed the wrong way. You get what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Yeah. And there's a difference. I mean, it's nice to get rubbed the right way too.
Yeah, that's
But
exactly that's what I'm saying.
I understand it. Now I get it.
Yeah. Hmm.
I think it's fair to say this, man. That moment of clarity that comes, that moment of clarity that comes into mind when you think about trying to bear the weight of the world, right? If you're if you allow it to build up, it'll come out wrong, like almost like you don't care, right? And it's not about you not caring. It's just you get to a certain point where it's like, no, I care about me just as much, if not more, right?
Hmm.
And I asked you
Right.
the question. My question to you was, how long should we entertain an issue that we already know the solution to, but are choosing not to be direct to a person's feeling to protect a person's feelings? And my thing is that I think we've all done that.
Right.
I think we've all done that. We'll do that. We've done that to our children. Yeah, I mean, nah, man, that was great, man. I'm not saying that you should hurt their feelings, but I believe that, trying to hold on to a lie in a situation is different, right? Especially,
Right.
or not even so much a lie when you know the solution. Like, for instance, you got a homeboy, like you said, that every time he go out and every time he has some drinks, it's an issue. It's an issue with someone. He's the guy who's starting the problem, the conflict. So now you trying to figure out how you going to be the person who handles that situation. You
Right.
know what I mean? But when we get ready to go out, man, I'll make sure that, if he get 2 drinks, don't let him get 3 so then we can leave. So now you can't have a good time because you're busy watching this person and counting their drinks. And you find yourself saying to yourself after a while, I'm not even having a good time.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really a situation where I'm sitting up there and I'm not saying to you what I really want to say. Like, bro, you don't handle your liquor well. Or since
Right.
you don't handle your liquor well, now I can't go out with you. And I like you as a person. You cool. When you drinking water, everything is fine. As soon as the water go from water to wine, it's a problem.
Right.
And so at some point, that's where I asked that question. Sometimes I think that we, try to bear the pressures of figuring things out, and we hold on to things that's supposed to be indirect. Yo, man, I think you got a problem. Or not even that. Yo, man, I got a problem being around you and you're not right.
Right.
And
Right.
so and so that's why I asked that question. And I think the older we get, we call it less tolerance. Like we're less tolerable. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Oh man, I ain't got the patience. I don't think it's that. I think you get to a certain point where it ain't about patience no more. You just realize, nope, it's not worth the energy.
Well,
No,
yeah.
nah, I'm not gonna
But
hold on to it. Nah, nah,
but
nah.
but me personally, like you said, and again with the brain dumps and self awareness and all that type of stuff, what
Hmm.
I've learned, you know, the only time I even get annoyed and stuff like that is where I'm somewhere that I actually have to be and I'm getting annoyed. But I don't get too much annoyed because I don't. Again, if I'm in an environment and I know that every time I'm in this environment, it's a lot of BS happening. And it just doesn't sit right with me. I don't need. I've removed myself from these type of environments several times. You see
Right.
what I'm saying?
I
But
got you.
if it's somewhere like, and you still don't even necessarily have to deal with this, but if it's somewhere like work, because you're doing what you got to do to survive, and you got time in, and you know that anywhere. Let's make this clear, people. A lot of people in life claim that they hate their job, right? If you truly hate your job, find another one. That's number one.
Absolutely,
Now,
absolutely.
here's the thing. I've been at my job for 22 and a half years. All right? Let's go ahead and clap it up for that, right?
That's excellent. Absolutely,
So in 22 and a half years, I know it's going to be
absolutely.
days that frustrate me, and I know
That's
it's
right.
and stuff that get on my nerves, and I know it's going to be days like this is great. So when I say it may be times I go there and I feel like I gotta have a brain dump or something. That's what I mean. I don't hate my job though. If I hated my job, I would have never been there that long. My point is, and what I'm saying, we got jokers going to places, man. Every time, man, I'm gonna stop coming around here, man, because y'all get on my nerves, and then you be back tomorrow. That's the same type of person that say, God, let me feel better from this hangover, and I promise you, I ain't gonna drink no more. And then it's casa in the casa. That's what it is. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
yeah,
So
absolutely.
a perfect example is this. Did you watch Snowfall?
Yeah.
Let's first of all, let's go ahead and give it a moment of silence on Uncle Rome, man. You know what I mean? Just it was his last one, P. He was going to
Oh,
leave, man. He was some
wrong.
moment of silence on Rome.
All right.
I can't go too long because you
Yeah,
got
can't
dead air.
Rome. Love you, baby. We can't do that. Dead space ain't gonna
Yeah,
work. But
you
do
know what I
our thing.
mean.
Shout out. Love you, Rome. Miss you,
Yeah,
baby.
you know what I mean. How do
It's
I
the part of the show,
say
y'all.
goodbye
Yeah,
to that Jerry curl he had?
yeah.
All the
Yeah.
good times with the
Yeah.
subs in the trunk. Jamming Jerome with the funk. Oh, that's good.
Good job, man. Nah, but you know what, yo? Even with him, if you guys watch it, there was a moment when he was talking to Louis, brain dump. He was
Hmm.
having one. He was having a brain dump. Look, I'm tired of this.
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
tired
tired
of
of
all of this.
right.
He had 2 of them. He tried to have one with the other dude that was from the projects too. Brain dump.
Yeah,
It was too much. You could see it wearing on him.
yeah,
You could see the things that was going on. And see, that's what I'm saying. Even though he's a fictional character, we know people
right,
like Jerome, man. We've
right.
thought like Jerome and felt like Jerome at some point in our lives. And if you don't change things, I'm not saying that it has to end the same way that that character's, situation ended. But what I am saying is that it it it, it could be a problem.
Mm-hmm.
It could be a problem. And even in the sense of what happened and the way he wound up dying in the show, he was still going to save Louis.
Right.
Still somebody else he was trying to do something for.
Right.
His wife, I get it, but you understand what I'm saying? And most, I don't know what the percentage is, but I'm guaranteeing you, bro, a large percentage of the issues that we try to fix on a day-to-day basis are not our own.
Mm-hmm.
They're not our own because
I
of our
love her because
awareness.
she got her own. Okay, yeah, my
Right.
bad.
Like our self-awareness situation, we are aware of how our days are going. Like that moment you say you get up and you because you feel your neck getting hot and you walk off, you can
Yeah.
do that because it's you. You understand what that trigger, what that does.
Mm-hmm.
But what happens when you're trying to figure it out for somebody else and their triggers or whatever it is? You know, that wife or in some people's case the husband or the kids, they had a bad day and they want to come home and you want to fix the day that they had.
Right.
Well, well, I don't want to add anything else to it. I don't want to stress them out and all this, that, and the third. No, they need to figure out a way to come up with some kind of brain dump because it's
Right.
not fair to who everybody else. It's not fair to come home and dump your issues. I used to come home and talk to my wife about situations at my job, and she knew none of the people or none of the things that I was talking about, and would look
Right.
at me like just like okay, I'm
I
just
used
gonna
to do the
sit here.
same thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it wasn't fair to him, and I needed to
Nah.
learn how to have a brain dump. So I started listening to my jazz on the way home. I had an hour commute. It was a good
Mm-hmm.
time to release and let it
Yeah.
go. And I just
Yeah.
think that if we acknowledge the fact that it's a necessity, however you do it, I'm telling you, man, it's gonna make a world of difference for you.
Yeah. I've learned that this year I've been a lot better. You know what I mean? I've learned that praying. Praying is the number one thing for me.
Absolutely,
But really mean it.
absolutely.
You gotta pray every day. Like you pray and you really pray for people because when you pray, when only God, I promise you, if I please help me, Lord, like I'm not gonna drink no more. I'm promise you, like you doing that shit. That's the only time
Yeah,
you talking to God. The casa was in the casa and it's on my knees now because I threw up. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
if you on that,
yeah.
that's the only time you talk. But if you get up
When
and
you
say
get so
thank.
bad, it ain't even words, man.
Right. Yeah. But when you get up in the morning, say thank you God, thank you Jesus, thank you Muhammad. Listen, whoever you
Right.
worship,
Yeah.
right? And
Whatever
you
whoever your creator is, right?
creator. Sound like you said crater. It's okay, but whoever whoever your creator is, right? And you do that, but you talk to him all day, and you say, and you like, hey, and thank you God for getting me to the job. Thank you Allah. Praise all be to Allah, to the Most High, all that, right? And then you get at work, and somebody say, man, you get out of here, man. Corny said all that bullshit. You be like, God, I ain't even gonna feed into him today. Them the type of people who understand and have self-awareness to themselves and know what to say to keep themselves together. Because at the end of the
Absolutely.
day, we got us more. Nobody got us like us.
Nobody.
Nobody got us like us.
Nobody. And
So,
that's nothing against nobody else, but you don't.
and like a
You can't love me better than me.
conversation me and you said yesterday, we was having yesterday, that as men, we always feel like is we were trained to be like
The cater,
to cater to our women. You know what I mean, and to
Hmm.
always feel like we got to be Superman, right?
Absolutely. Yep.
But in all
Yep.
actuality, you
Yep.
you can't do that if you ain't got yourself right.
It's very difficult.
So
Almost impossible.
right, right. You know what I mean? That's
You
why.
don't. You can't cater to other people if you don't know how to cater to yourself.
Right. No,
It's
that's
impossible.
yeah. That's what it is.
You don't even know what it feels like. If you don't know what it feels like to make yourself feel good, how you make anybody else feel good?
You know.
I'm telling you, man. I you
Right.
know I and I think because we live in a world where
Well, it
where
is.
where
It is ways. Holly Berry said on Monsters Ball, "I want you to make me feel good." Remember that part? And Billy Bob hit. He hit that moment, and it was real, man.
I
Like,
remember that part.
yeah,
Matter of fact, that's the part I remember the most.
yeah,
Like I
yeah.
probably couldn't tell you too much else,
Right.
but
Billy
I remember.
Bob.
Yeah.
Billy Bob Thornton was one who always got a little bit in movies, man. Bad Santa in the pool.
Oh
Yeah,
man,
you know
that
what I
was
mean?
part of his. I think
Yeah,
whenever he
contract.
was, he had a role. It was his agent was like he has to smash it.
Him and Wesley Snipes.
You know.
Yeah,
Oh
Wesley
yeah,
Snipes too. Yeah, Wesley Snipes.
but West,
Yeah,
he was
yeah,
gonna do that. That's part of like you said, it's contract. It's
yeah,
pathetic.
yeah. You
Yeah, nah.
got any, what we doing this week? I'm just curious if we doing what we doing this week.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah,
mean,
yeah.
but
Of course
as
we
you look
doing
for
it.
that, I just want to continue to let people know is, brain dump. A brain dump, for you to get a proper brain dump, you have to have self awareness, and for you to have self awareness, listen, create it. Make a checklist. Hey yo, every time I eat this, the side of my face itch. Or every
Absolutely.
time I drink, if I
Yeah,
drink this, I have a
yeah,
good time, and
yeah.
I'm good. I can get up in the morning and drink. But if I drink this,
Yep,
it's making me sick. You know what I
yep,
mean? Or
yep,
every time I drink this soda, it give me a lot of gas. Anything. I
yeah,
know all that sound crazy,
yep.
but you know, it's like I smoke cigars. I remember one time I had a Java
Yep.
Mint, and I inhaled it.
Hmm.
Learning young, ain't know what I was doing. I forgot 20 minutes of my life. I ain't remember what happened for 20 minutes. You
We
know what I
go.
mean?
Would you rather, man? Would you rather? Whenever you ready for it, whenever
Nah,
you
cause
ready to go. Would you rather?
let me just
Well, go
tell you
ahead, break
though.
it in.
I'm gonna
Go
just
ahead.
say, cause I was at Pizza City, got some wings, and I swear it felt like 3 minutes later they said the wings was ready. I said, nah, man, come on, y'all ain't cooked that shit that fast. Grease ain't even get hot. They said,
Yeah,
E, you been here for 25 minutes.
yeah.
P, I ain't know what was going on, man. All right, we
It
gonna
wasn't
do.
it wasn't a cigar.
Yeah.
I can tell you that. But go ahead.
We gonna
Go
do
ahead.
Would You Rather.
Go ahead.
Welcome to another episode of Would You Rather. Get to it, P.
Welcome to another episode of Would You Rather, where I ask you a series of questions and eventually I get an answer. I mean, just buckle up, y'all. I don't know what he's going to say. Would you rather be married to a 10 with a bad personality or a 6 with an amazing personality?
I'm gonna go with a 6, but man, I'm blessed. I'm blessed. 10 and a good personality. Let's go. Let's keep it moving. Let's keep it moving. Yep. Trying to get
Okay.
lucky later. That's
Well, you answered it in the right direction.
yeah.
Okay. Would you rather have all traffic lights, you approach be green, or never have to stand in a line again?
Never have to stand in line again. Cause sometimes you need that light. Sometimes you need that light to stop. You know what I
I've
mean?
done that. I've been riding
Yeah.
and said, look, I really need
hmm
to bite this sandwich.
I could.
And I can't open the paper with both hands, and I
And
can't do it
that's
while I'm
different from
driving.
you, bro. Cause if anybody know my brother, man, he will not put his hand in his bag really to eat
Yeah.
till he was able to walk around with hand sanitizer and he felt better.
Yeah.
But
Word.
if he shook a lot of people's hand while he was out, he
Yeah.
wouldn't eat his food till he got home.
At all. I
Yeah,
still, when I go to events now, if I've seen y'all at an event, most of the time, my
yeah,
plate is to go. My
yeah.
plate is to go. You know
Right.
what I'm saying?
But
Absolutely, man.
but I want to say this because it's funny that you say that. You need that stuff because I'm telling you, I'm on 295 yesterday
Okay.
and drinking my nice, coffee from Wawa. You know what I
Got you.
mean? It's warm
Yeah.
and
We'll
I was
take
on the,
one. Sponsorship. Wow,
yeah,
wow. We'll take a sponsorship. It's fine.
right. So I'm drinking the coffee. I go to put the cup down and the top come off, but I ain't dropped the cup. But of course, I'm driving on the road and it go like this.
Yeah.
Burnt the shit out of my leg, and this had to be my face. This had to be my face.
You
The rest
told
of the
me, yeah.
time,
What'd you say you said to yourself?
I said, "Damn,
You got to take that burn,
got to
right?
take
And we
that
start singing.
burn." You
We
said,
start
"Gotta let
singing
it
about
burn." Start singing Usher,
gotta,
yeah.
gotta let it burn,
I said, "You
baby.
gotta take
All
that
right.
burn, man." Damn.
Check it out. All right, you ready for the next one?
But I needed to stop. I couldn't. I was on the highway.
Woo. Yeah, and that's definitely not a good place to stop. Would
hmm
you rather give up all drinks except for water, or give up eating anything that was cooked in an oven?
Oh, I'd rather give up the drinks. Shit, you're not gonna take away baked chicken from me.
Right.
If you cook steak in the oven, mac and
Absolutely.
cheese, you know what
Right.
I mean? You
Right.
know,
And truth be
bake
told,
baked
water.
beans, bitch. Like, nah, you're not taking anything out. cookies, bitch. Like you not take
Vegetarian.
baked
Vegetarian
beans,
beans.
vegetarian baked vegetarian beans, man. I ain't, you know what I mean? You
Okay,
know,
I'm with that. Okay, I'm with all of that. Okay. Would you rather be able to control animals with your mind or control electronics with your mind?
electronics.
Okay. Because you can't control it. And they put on here in parentheses, not humans. Clearly,
Yeah,
they made it obvious.
right.
Animals are electronics. You said electronics.
Yeah, because I was explaining to somebody the other day. When we was coming up, we had baby in the house, right?
Right.
And
Right.
it was the times I was telling the coworker of mine. I said she would be laying on the couch, and then when she'd be on the couch, she'd be my lap or mom lap or pop anybody, and she'd be like this. You'll see her start going. You hear that noise, right? So I hear that. You ever hear that? Be like, okay, somebody in here falling asleep. I'm looking at mom and dad. They all looked at me like, hey, was that you? And we look down as baby. Baby will look up over the eyes, see all three of us looking at her, jump down, go to the top of the step, and look at the step. Then turn around, look at us, and go, "Ruh." Like, but you gonna take me down, man? It's time to go to bed, man. And
Where you gonna
I
lay
used to
down?
think that was the coolest shit ever because we didn't have to tell her to do that. She's a dog. That was the
Right.
coolest shit ever. Wish I had a robot that could have took her down.
Okay.
Hmm.
Oh, that's where that was going. I
Yeah,
had no.
yeah.
I'm like, where was that?
Nah, nah,
It was,
because
I
you
wish I had a
said
robot to take it down.
right.
Got you.
Yeah, because you
Got you.
said animals or electronics. I wish I could control electronics to take care. Because I just love the fact that an animal has their
Oh
own
no,
mind.
no, no. I'm not gonna say it wouldn't. It makes it just
It just
I didn't
threw you
realize.
over there. That
Yeah,
was the
like
craziest boomerang shit you ever seen.
yeah,
It
like you
went
took 29.
around.
You took 29 to go down to the corner store.
That,
Like
that
what I
was
mean.
that.
I didn't.
Remember on Duck Hunt where they used to shoot the little clay shit? That shit, you wait till that bitch get all
Yeah,
the way over there, you go, pow, to get more points and shit.
I remember that. I remember
Yeah.
that. I remember
Hmm.
that. Would you rather see what was behind every closed door? Rather be able to see what was behind every closed door, or be able to guess the combination of every safe on the first try?
But see what's behind closed doors.
Okay.
Cause I don't want to rob nobody, man. If I can get a combination safe, and you getting robbed.
What's
Yeah,
funny is but
yeah,
you have this thing with this infatuation of being able to be invisible for a day. So you don't want all the combinations and nothing, but you're cool with being invisible.
yeah. Right,
And
right.
okay,
Here's
all
the
right,
shit though. I ain't going to just look behind the door because you go look at behind the door and you see something you don't want to see. You look behind the door
right.
and they back there. Like, wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Now, yeah, now it's crazy. All
Yeah.
right. Would you rather have unlimited international first class tickets? Wow, unlimited international. That's nice. First
Yeah.
class tickets,
Okay.
or
All right.
never have to pay for food at restaurants again.
Oh no, I don't want to pay for food no more.
Yeah. I mean, I can see where one could be definitely more useful than
Right.
the other.
I'm gonna tell you why the food is. I to go with the food because here's the thing: not having to pay for food ever again is like having a private chef anywhere.
Okay.
Think about it. Most of the time when you're going international, when you flying to that resort, it's all inclusive. You pay for it. Now you could pay for first class if you ain't gotta buy food every day.
Okay.
But I'm not gonna get on a first class flight every day. But I gotta eat every day.
I think it depends on where you're at in life.
Kevin, what's up, buddy? DK, everybody, shout out to DK. Hold me. He's finally
Oh,
here and talking. And my
there it
man.
is. There it is. Broski. Good to see you, brother. Good to see you here. You
Hmm.
know what I mean? No, I was going to say, I think it depends on where you are, right? So, in the case of where we are with me, like for instance, if I was speaking publicly, which is my objective, my whole perspective on what I'm doing, of course. I mean, you start getting international tickets, and that's all useful. But that is a good point that you make.
Hmm.
You go in every place, you can eat for free, not having to pay for it. It's like having a personal chef all over the place. That's
Right.
awesome.
Because if you
Yeah,
really,
nah.
bruh, listen. One of the hardest things in life, as we all know, especially living in is with a family, is what we gonna eat for dinner,
Of
right?
course.
And
Yeah.
I was having a talking to DKL earlier today, and I was telling him like, listen, man, if you really want your body to be at a certain shape, of course we all know there's meal prepping, but besides the fact of having meal prep, you got that's part of it. You got to eat the same. It's good to eat the same things. Keep it simple. You see what I'm saying? But it also gives you train of thought and energy in other ways for you to do proper brain dumps, get educated on some other things
Yeah.
because you're not because they say you got to make about 14 real decisions every day.
Hmm.
You know what I mean?
Is
And
that what they say? Okay.
yeah, they say that's why people like Zuckerberg always wears a white T-shirt and jeans. So he's not trying to figure out in the morning what he gonna put on.
Okay.
So
I mean, makes sense. I
yeah.
mean, makes sense. Um, would you rather have all your clothes fit perfectly, or have the most comfortable pillow, blankets, and sheets in existence?
All my clothes fit perfectly. Cause I already
Okay.
I always know how to get company. I'm company.
Oh, go,
I always know how to get
go.
comfortable when I'm trying to when I'm going to sleep.
Oh man. Oh man. Okay. All right. Um. Wow. You know what?
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. The
I was
clothes.
super off. You got one more and that's it.
Okay. Then, we're gonna go with one more, and then we'll let you get to whatever you can make get to. Okay. Would you rather travel the world for a year on a shoestring budget? I think I asked you this before. Or
Right.
stay only in one country for a year, but live in luxury.
I think I said live in luxury in one for a year. You know what I mean? Because you know why? Um,
No.
the shoestring budget and seeing the world is beautiful, and the
Right.
shoestring budget sometimes makes it different because this shoestring budget ain't gonna may not be good in this in this area. The
Right.
cost of living over here might be different, and then you want to be able to experience it. Like I don't care if I'm somewhere. I don't want to be somewhere broke. You know what I mean? Or afraid to spend money. And then if you're living somewhere for a year in luxury, yeah, you're gonna bring up that luxury. But luxury, see, it's a thing that goes with luxury. Luxury often relaxes people. So now that I'm relaxing people, I can plan more. That brain dump is different. I don't got as much on my mind. You get what I'm saying? And
Absolutely.
and I'm cool with it. So that's why. And then you could disappear for a year and come back be something crazier because in that 1 year luxury, you might say I need this forever, and you can figure it out. You know what I mean? So
Hmm.
yeah,
I agree. Pretty good.
yeah.
Pretty good. Chase out of it, bro.
That was another episode of Would You Rather. Let's get back. So P, before we close
Yo.
and wrap, because 58 in. I just looked up, son, how many decisions in a day. It says whether you're making breakfast or deciding what to wear in the morning. Your brain is, I was super off, making upward of 35,000 decisions each day. According to Eva Krocko,
Hmm.
lecturer at the University of somewhere in United Kingdom. That's crazy.
Yeah.
You
But
know what I
but
mean?
like you said, getting ready to end it, like you said, to walk out of this one. Now factor this in. What you just said, right?
Right, right,
Already. Now couple that with the concept of what we're talking about today in terms of brain dump.
right. That's why
If
I
you
bring
got
it
to
up.
answer all of those, and that's a great
Right,
point, that's an excellent point to end
right.
it. If you
Yep.
got to entertain all of those different things, you just said that Zuckerberg makes a decision to wear white t-shirt and blue jeans every day, so it's one less thing that he has to think about.
Mm-hmm.
By him doing that, what he does is he already dumps that out of his mind, and I don't even have to worry about what I'm wearing the next day, which
Right,
makes room for what other things, which allows him to be what ahead of the game on certain other things.
right,
See, the objective in life is to always try to keep yourself as free spirited and open minded as possible. Well,
mm-hmm.
it's hard to be open minded unless you do what?
Clear it.
You do a brain dump.
Yep, parachute effect.
You, you got exactly. You got to do a
Hmm.
brain dump.
Yeah,
If you want to be open minded, that's how it happens. If you want to be able to consider how you can be better in life, whether or not you're doing everything that you need to do, and all these different things, you got to do a brain dump. Once
yeah.
again, don't feel bad about telling people right now. To be completely honest, I'm working on some things for myself.
You have to.
Because you've already understood that in order for you to be the best for anyone else, you got to be the best you, and you can't do that if your mind is cluttered with a bunch of things that you need to dump.
And one more thing before we go. I was, me and a good friend of mine, we was having a conversation the other day, and we was talking about what a lot of people don't realize, that successful people do as less as possible. Successful people have people doing things for them. You know what I mean? What I mean
Right,
by that is everywhere we look, we see Amazon, right?
right, right.
Jeff Bezos ain't selling no more packages no more,
No,
but he has a lot of employees who do.
absolutely.
So you think he cooking his own dinner?
No.
Only thing he's probably doing is knowing what he's going to put on that day, and he probably turns around and still has multiple outfits laid out and says, I'll just go with this, see how I feel in the morning. My point
Hmm.
is, we have to do things to bring them, but it's easier sometimes to have people take care of things. I remember when I first got my house, and I told my wife I don't want to cut the grass. She
Right.
looked at me and was like, you ain't want to cut the grass. I'm like, I cut so much damn grass when I was a kid. I was like a baby landscaper. Not I'm not for people who talking about it knew us from West Trenton. No, I'm talking about me and Pia tell you when we was young, we was down south, we had to cut grandma grass, Aunt Josephine grass, Aunt Irma grass,
Hmm.
and the church. And
Hmm.
everybody backyard was the size of the park of the field across the street from Junior 3. Everybody. Right?
Absolutely. Right.
Yeah, no gas lawnmower. The push joint that was like scissors and shit. You know what I mean?
Sling
Yeah,
blades in the wheel.
right. Yeah, and then when we came up, we had to cut all five Uncle Ron and our Callan apartments.
Hmm.
Remember, we cut all of those. That's what we used to
Right.
do. Right.
So you
So
said that you didn't want to cut no
I didn't want
grass.
to
I
cut it no
got you.
more. So now I pay somebody to cut the grass, and that's one less thing I got to worry about. It's easy for me to say, "You gonna be here that day?" There you go, bro. But
Hmm.
if I had to get up 8:39 in the morning to cut grass, disturb my neighbors,
Hmm.
finish because I ain't got no ride lawnmower. Finish by 11, get in the shower, sit down for a few minutes, then get up and go get ready to do a gig. Now I'm exhausted, and I ain't even got the right thing on my mind to perform the best way I want to do. So,
Absolutely.
so I'm saying to you, saying everything to say this: become successful. By becoming successful, don't be afraid to think outside the box.
Absolutely.
Get you some help to do some things. Don't try to take everything on. And you might be one brain dump away of making the right decision to pick in the right people to handle these things for you. So
I absolutely agree.
I just want y'all to know, man, this is the Porch Podcast, and y'all can find us on all your favorite streaming podcasts and sites. We got iHeartRadio, we got Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, Spotify, Audible. Any other ones, P? Red Circle.
Red Circle, Radio Public,
Yeah,
Overcast Radio.
yeah,
You said Audible already,
yeah.
and that's what comes to mind at the moment. But anywhere else that you've been getting them, if we're not mentioning it and you've been listening to it on that particular site,
Right.
please continue to download and enjoy it. And like he says, each and every week, man, we usually shoot live on Tuesday at around aboutish time. You know what I
Right.
mean? But if
Mm-hmm.
you want to look for it, it'll actually be available that same night it airs live right on YouTube on our YouTube channel, which is The Porch
Mm-hmm.
um, on YouTube. And it'll be available there as well. But
Right.
like he said, it's been episode 118, man. Brain dumping. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it. We appreciate you guys rocking out with us each and every week. Please tell a friend to tell a friend. Like, comment, subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you know when everything is dropping. Look forward to seeing y'all the next one, y'all. I'm going, man. Peace,
All right,
family.
y'all. Peace.